Act Two of The Phantom of the Opera, starring Nelson Eddy as Anatole, Susanna Foster as Christine, and Basil Rathbun as Claudin, with Edgar Barrier as Raoul.
There was a master key at the Opera House, and the night we were to sing Amour et Gloire, the key disappeared. Other things had been stolen, costumes, masks. But now the Shadow had entrance to 2,500 doors. He could roam at will from the sub-cellars to the very top of the auditorium, where the great chandelier swung over the audience. There were some who swore they had seen this Shadow, flung on the walls of dim corridors, or crouching like a griffon on the high balconies over the street. And there were some who swore they had heard mutterings in the deep cellars where the sewers ran black.
And tonight, it is Amour et Gloire. Amour et Gloire with Anatole Garand and the soprano, Biancaroli. Biancaroli sings tonight, not Christine Dubois. Well, we shall see. We shall see.
It was strange the way it happened. In the third act, the libretto called for me to give Biancaroli a cup of wine. When she had drunk it, I thought for a moment that her face paled. She finished her aria and left the stage, but she was late for her next entrance. There was a wait. And then came the cadenza from off stage. I knew that voice, but it was not Biancaroli who was making the entrance. It was her understudy, Christine Dubois.
well during the second act. You saw me, Maestro.
Madame Biancaroli, we realized
If you
that
realized I was drugged, then tell that police inspector there to arrest the man who did it. We all know who it was, Anatole Garon.
I know nothing of the sort, madame. I am a police officer, not a psychic. It is my duty to collect evidence without prejudice.
Haven't you evidence enough? Everyone knows
Madame, will you be seated, please? Monsieur Garon, is it true that you had the opportunity during tonight's performance to place the drug in Madame Biancaroli's glass?
Certainly, Monsieur Inspector. We all did.
It becomes then a question of motive.
The motive is very simple. Garon wanted to get me out of the way to make room for that...
Are you referring to Christine Dubois?
I am.
You heard, Monsieur Garon.
Oh, yes. Madame is in good voice and most explicit.
Have you anything to say, monsieur?
I deny Madame's accusation.
Do you deny, monsieur, that you had any motive in drugging Madame?
I deny that I drugged her.
Monsieur Inspector, I do not understand your reluctance to make an arrest. You are not an examining magistrate.
Can you substantiate your charge that Anatole Garon had a motive in drugging you and that the motive was Christine Dubois?
Why, anybody with half an eye would be able to tell you.
Hearsay is not evidence,
Then
madame.
I'll go over your head. I have influence at the Sûreté. I was drugged tonight to the point of death, and I insist upon the arrest of the criminal and his accomplice. And if you don't...
One moment, madame, please. You've heard Garon deny that he drugged you. As the inspector says, there is no evidence to warrant an arrest. If you insist upon it and fail to gain a conviction, you will find yourself in a very difficult predicament.
Yes, quite right.
And no matter what the outcome, don't forget that your career is bound to the Paris Opera. Whatever scandal injures us or any member of the company will injure you as well.
Are you suggesting that I forget the whole affair?
Yes, for your own sake as well as ours.
Very well. That is, under certain conditions. I want a new understudy. Christine Dubois goes back to the chorus and stays for the 2 years my contract has to run.
No, I won't permit it. If any such arrangement is made, I'll go...
My dear Anatole, I have not finished. I go a step farther. I suggest that we all forget that anything happened afterwards.
For once, Madame, I don't understand you.
Oh, but it's so simple. Nothing happened tonight. I was not drugged, and Christine Dubois did not sing.
What?
Madame, there are always critics in the house.
You will send word to the papers that no mention of hers to be made.
You'll do nothing of the sort. It's ridiculous. Besides, what about the public? Shall we send word to the public to forget that Mademoiselle Dubois was a sensation?
If you are willing to ruin the opera for the sake of Christine Dubois, that's your affair. But you'll either do as I say, or I will charge both of you with trying to murder me. Do you understand that? Murder!
Ah, Madame Biancaroli.
Good evening, Maria.
Oh, Madame, you were magnificent tonight.
Oh, my dress, please. You really thought so, Maria?
Oh, yes, Madame. The best I've ever heard you. Especially in the part with Garon. The cadenza from offstage, it was so...
Oh, you liked that, did you?
Why, yes, Madame, it...
Yes. Yes, I was very good tonight. My dressing gown, Maria.
Yes, Madame.
Maria!
Madame! Madame!
What's the matter with you?
A man, Madame, outside the window on the
Oh,
balcony.
don't be a fool. How could a man...
Madame.
Good evening.
What do you want here?
I'm
Who are you?
sorry. I cannot let you see my face. You would not be pleased.
Take off that mask, Anatole Garon. You do not frighten me.
Madame, it is not Anatole Garon.
I did not come here to frighten you unnecessarily. Only to tell you that Christine Dubois will sing tomorrow night.
Oh, yes.
You will leave Paris, madame.
Leave Paris. You will see to it, of course.
Yes, I will see to it, madame.
Get back.
Madame!
Do you force me to reason with you, madame?
I will not leave. Get away from me.
I am sorry, madame. I am very sorry.
Anatole!
What is it?
Madame Biancaroli and her maid. They've been murdered.
The opera was closed for almost a week. And then from somewhere within the darkened building, a note was written to the directors.
Gentlemen, the opera must open very soon. Christine Dubois will replace Biancaroli, who chose to ignore my advice.
Good morning.
Yes?
Is Christine at home?
Yes.
Well, may I see her, please?
Come in. I'll tell her you're here.
Thank you.
E vieni alla finestra, oh mio tesoro.
Beautiful, monsieur, beautiful.
Oh, I didn't see you, Inspector. Good morning.
How's the opera business, monsieur?
Well, very poor at the moment. How's the inspecting?
Very good.
Splendid. Glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Not at all.
Good morning.
Oh,
good morning, Christina.
Aunt Berta told me you were waiting together. Did you amuse each other?
Hmm.
Good.
May I have a
Christine,
word
I
with
wonder
you?
if I... Sorry, monsieur.
After you, monsieur.
After you.
Thank you. What
Christine,
I
if
was
you and
going
I
to
could
say
only-
was that...
One at a time, please. Anatole?
They're going to open the opera, Christine. You and I are going to sing together.
You are wrong, monsieur. I'm sorry, Christine. They are going to reopen the opera, but without you. Circumstances connected with the murder of Biancaroli demand that someone else sing the leading role in your place.
Really? You may be interested to know, Monsieur Daubert, that circumstances connected with the murder of Biancaroli demand that Christine does sing.
Well, the police have changed that plan somewhat. We are going to draw the murderer out into the open by defying his warning. My men will be posted at every entrance and exit.
And probably miss him.
Monsieur, I am aware that your profession requires a certain self-assurance, but aren't you going too far?
Not at all. I happen to have a plan of my own for trapping the murderer.
So you've turned detective, monsieur.
I have.
Well, very well, if it amuses you.
I might add that my plan is strictly confidential.
All I can tell you is that Lorenzi is to sing the role, and I am not in the least interested in your plan.
May I have a word with you alone, Christine?
Yes, that's what I came for. May I speak to you alone, Christine?
But I'm going out.
Well,
My carriage is just
out.
outside.
I'm not going right now. I'm going later.
I'll wait.
Yes. Yes, we'll both wait. We were certain now that the murderer was Eric Claudin. The plan I had worked out took me to the home of a great pianist and composer. On the night before we were to open, I went to see Franz Liszt.
Very nice. But do you really think this Claudin could be tempted to leave his hiding place and risk his life merely to hear his own concerto?
Played by Franz Liszt himself. Do you doubt it, maestro? Now, my plan is for you to play the concerto between the second and third acts, and then...
Well, so many crimes have been committed in the name of music. It seems only fair to use it now to avert one. I am at your service, monsieur.
Oh, thank you, maestro.
Most exciting, this detective work. Most exciting.
Well, it's more than exciting to me. I have the honor of being suspected of the crime.
Gentlemen, I have been very patient. Now I learn that Christine Dubois will not sing. Gentlemen, if Madame Lorenzi sings in her place, you will be responsible. 2 are dead now. Only 2. There will be more, gentlemen. Many, many more.
Lorenzi sang that night. Through 2 acts we waited, and nothing happened. An old worker at the opera house thought he saw a figure on the catwalk leading to the dome of the theater. It was the old man's duty to light the monster chandelier, a great heavy thing of glass and bronze held in place by chains. When the police searched the catwalk high over the audience, there was no one there. We began to feel secure. Christine had come to the theater, but she was safe in her dressing room. When I entered from the wings at the finale of the second act, I was thinking only of the opera.
красивых мы любим, но врагов жестоко мы рубим. Эй, налейте же нам водки, помочите наши глотки. Вино нам, вино. Нет, узнайте сами. Эй, вино, эй, друзья, эй. Что вижу я перед собой, я пьянян ее красой, о ней мечтал я лишь во сне, когда не спалось ночью мне. Ее глаза, как солнце свет, такой красы на свете нет. Вся жизнь моя полна тобой, одной тобой.
And then it happened. I saw the great chandelier begin to sway high above. It swung to and fro like a giant pendulum. Others had seen it, too. A woman in the audience screamed. There was no time to get out of the way. The audience below was frozen, staring up at the monster of glass and bronze. And then it came hurtling down through space.
Get doctors. Doctors. Get every doctor you can find in Paris.
Watch every entrance. Let no one in or out except doctors and the injured.
Christine, where are you?
She's in her dressing room.
No, she's not in the dressing room. I've been there.
I saw her, monsieur. She went down the steps.
You saw Christine Dubois?
Yes, monsieur. Yes, monsieur, she was going down the steps beneath the storeroom. I called to her, but she did not answer.
Which way are the steps?
Over there, monsieur. And there was a man with her. A man in a cloak, with a mask covering his face.
It's Claudin. She's with Claudin. Christine! Where are you?
We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.